sheet than this, then I'll help you as you try those. So we're going to be using that percentage multiplier. And all of these are going to be where you're given information about the original price. Something happens to that price, so you're then working out the final price. Okay, so all of these today, we're going to be working out the final price. Next lesson, we will do some where we're working out the original price. And then I think I'll do a lesson where we mix the two together and see if you can avoid getting muddled. So all of these today, we're using the percentage multiplier and we're finding the final price. So when you get a question, focus first of all on what's happening to it. So with this particular question, the price is being increased by 20%. So we've got 100% to start with. We're adding on 20%, and 100% add 20% is 120%. And we're going to work out the final amount. So we're always going to be working out this one in the right-hand column today. So you've got to say to yourself, what multiplier, if we're going to use multipliers today, what number do you multiply by to turn 100 into 120? That's the issue. If you know the original amount, what would you times it by to move from 100% to 120%? Now that is going to be multiplying by 1.2. 100 times 1.2 is 120. If you can't, you will be able to do those in your head with a bit of practice. But until you do, you can always just get your calculator out and do 120 divided by 100, and that will give you the 1.2. Okay, so our multiplier is 1.2 for this question. Now that will make things get bigger because it's more than 1. So step 2, what is the amount we start with? Well, in this question, our starting amount is £80. So we take our £80, we multiply it by our multiplier, we get out our calculator, and we do 80 times 1.2, and we get £96, and that will be our final answer. So that was when we were increasing by 20%. We were increasing by 20%, so we added 20%. With the other one I'm going to model, we're going to be decreasing. Okay, so question 2, we are decreasing by 40%. So always start off, if these are percentage questions, by writing down at 100%. That's your starting point. But on this occasion, we are decreasing, so we're going to be taking away 40% to give us 60%. Okay, so we've taken away 40% because it is a decreasing question. But it's the same argument. What multiplier will take us from 100 to 60? Now it's got to get smaller, so it's going to be less than 1. Now what do we multiply 100 by to get 60? Well, we multiply by 0.1. We multiply by 0.1. Okay, again, if you couldn't do that in your head, you would just go and say 60 divided by 100, which gives you 0.6. So we then move on to step 2. Okay, step 2, we go and see what amount we're starting with. Now on this question, we are starting with 30 miles. So we take our 30 miles, we multiply it by our multiplier, which was 0.6, pop that into your calculator, and you're going to get 18 miles. Okay, so that's it for these questions. So just to recap, because I can see some of you joined the meeting a little bit late. All of these today, we are going to be working at the final price. So we're going from left to right. We know the original price, that's given in the question. We're doing something to that original price, and that's giving us the final price. So all of these are going to require us multiplying. Now we're going to be multiplying by something bigger than 1, when we want to increase, and we will be multiplying by something less than 1 when we want to decrease. So step 1, start off with your 100%, either take away or add a percentage to get your revised percentage, and then say to yourself, how do you turn 100 into 60? What do you multiply 100 by to get 60? That would be 0.6. That will make it smaller. Okay, it was question 1. How do we make something bigger by 20%? We multiply it by 1.6. Now, we have done this before, but I'm just keeping an eye on that past paper you guys have been working your way through. Started a while back, and I see that one of these is coming up towards the end of the paper, so I thought this would be worth revising. So I've gone and set you some questions on Dr. Frost. The worksheet is there on Teams, just attached to where I've scheduled the meeting if you want to run the questions off before you answer them. But as always, please, can you just upload your answers onto Dr. Frost, and I will keep an eye on how you're getting on. Once I've stopped recording this, I will share my screen with the questions you're working on, and then do just feel free to ask me if you get stuck. But just stay cameras off just for a second while I stop this recording.